Hi, my name's Angela Reid and I'm delighted to have been asked to share with you my love of calligraphy. Calligraphy is often described as the art of beautiful writing. This is because it comes from the Greek words kalos, which means beauty, and graphe, which is writing or to write. These days it's used usually as an umbrella term for all kinds of different lettering, including traditional scripts, modern calligraphy, brush lettering and hand lettering. There are hundreds of different calligraphy styles. They can be done with a pointed nib, a broad edge pen or a brush, and I'm going to show you today how you can get started on your calligraphy journey with just a pencil. So the style of calligraphy that we're going to be basing our pencil calligraphy on today is Copperplate Script. Now Copperplate Script is done with a dip pen and ink, and you'll see it's quite like an old-fashioned cursive script. You may remember it from your school days, I know I certainly do. And it's written usually with a pointed nib. So I'll just bring this into shot here. So that is a pointed nib. And then what happens when this nib, when you apply pressure, you'll see that it splits. And then when you release the pressure, it comes together again. And this is what creates the thick and the thin strokes as you're writing. So when you're using a dip pen, when you press down, the ink creates a thicker channel. And when you lift up, the ink creates a thinner channel. So you'll see here, where you've got that downstroke of the L, that's a really thick line compared to the upstrokes here. And that is created when you press down. So when you're moving the pen up, which is an upstroke, you don't have any pressure. When you're pulling the pen down, that's a downstroke, you're applying the pressure. So what I'm going to do now is show you that in action by writing the Copperplate Script lowercase a to z for you. And here we've got some guidelines. Now guidelines vary depending on the style of calligraphy that you're doing and the size of the writing that you want it to be. So these guidelines would be quite small if you were doing something small for kind of like an envelope or a place card. They might be a little bit bigger if you were doing something that was designed more for a poster or for display. So if I just dip the pen in the ink here, and we'll get writing. So your guidelines, you've got an ascender line, an X height and a descender line. Most of your letters are going to fit in the X height here. So your A's, your E's, your I's will all sit between these two lines. And then the tops of your H's, your B's will come into the ascender. And then the tails of your P's, your Q's, your J's will come down into the descender. And you'll have these three lines for most calligraphy scripts, especially the traditional ones that are very structured. And along with that, with Copperplate, you also have these diagonal lines as well, because Copperplate Script, as you'll see from the exemplar I showed you, is on a slope. So all these diagonal lines do is help you keep that slope to your writing, and that's exactly what this particular type of holder does as well. This is known as an oblique holder. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and show you the alphabet. So that's your A, and you'll see I'm not applying any pressure on the pen as I go up, but as I come down, that's when you get the pressure and that thick stroke. This is obviously something that does take a while to get used to. But after a lot of practice, it does just become second nature. And when you come to do, or if you've seen modern calligraphy styles, the technique with the pen is exactly the same. But with modern calligraphy, it doesn't tend to be so structured, and you can kind of develop your own style a little bit more. There we go. So if I haven't missed any letters out, those are the 26 lowercase letters in the copperplate style of calligraphy. So when I first started learning copperplate, I wasn't actually allowed to touch a pen first. We got started with a pencil. So if you've got a nice, doesn't necessarily have to be a soft pencil, but soft pencils are a little bit better. You can recreate the thick and the thin strokes of these letters just by pressing on a little bit harder with the pencil. So if you nice and light, and then you press down as you come on, and then you press down, nice and light as you go up on the B, and then pressing down as you come down. Again, pressing down on the downstroke of the D, C. So just as you write in, hopefully you'll see the dark and the light, where the thick and the thin would be. And this is really good practice before you do pick a pen and ink up, especially if you're a little bit nervous that you're going to make a mess and smudge everything everywhere, which tends to be what people are concerned about at first when they come to workshops. So you can get started with a non-messy material first, if you like. And then you can have a little bit of fun with it as well. It doesn't have to be a grey pencil. You can use some colouring pencils. So as soon as we're coming up to Christmas, I'm going to write you a merry These are actually just my children's crayons, pencils that I've pinched here. So you can really have a play around with lettering and calligraphy with whatever you've got to hand. I'll do a season's greetings as well in green, my favourite colour. So there's one form of pencil calligraphy for you. I'm going to show you another one now, which is called Faux Calligraphy. This type of pencil calligraphy is lending a bit from Faux Calligraphy, which is faking it. And what you're actually doing here is drawing in where the thick lines would be. So you start doing your letters just as a mono line. So just as one line, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And then basically you just work out where the thick lines would be and draw them in. So again, remember the thick lines would be wherever you are moving the pen downwards. You get the little arch of the I, H there. A little kick of the K. Again, all of these arches here on the M and the same on the N. And then what would you do is just go and shade in, colour in those bits. And of course again, you can have a little bit of fun with this. You can use coloured pencils. You could do some different coloured thick strokes to the thin strokes. Hopefully you can see that that thick and thin is starting to show up now. Oh, I didn't do the downstroke of the cue. There we go. So there we go. There's a fake pencil copperplate script. So a quick Christmas craft idea for you if you wanted to do some personalised gift tags with the Faux Calligraphy. Obviously you can do it with pens as well. I've just got a nice gold gel pen here. You could just get a tag. Draw in your thick strokes. Colour them in. And then you can add whatever decorations or embellishments you want.